Just counting. Just a candle. Live on both.
Live on both?
Yep.
Live on both. Live. We're live. It's a common trick that the marketing team likes to play on me where they go live, but they don't tell me, so I'm just standing here. I'm like, oh, when are we going live?
I think we're live.
Oh, we're live now? Oh, shit. So we got a fun show planned today. Kind of impromptu, but I'm gonna teach you how to make a bulletproof coffee. It's one of the things I really love, and we've kind of had like a fitness/health revolution here occurring at Freefly, which has been fun. Then I'm gonna show some cool Instagram stuff. Then Hugh's gonna execute a stunning shot. Then we're gonna go from case to mounted on the razor with the Movi XL, so we can show how that workflow goes. And I think that's it. Evan has a contest he's running. If you share this feed successfully, he's going to pick some people in a contest and give out free swag based on whoever, I don't know. What metric are you going to use?
If you share the broadcast,
Yeah.
then I'll do a drawing.
If you share the broadcast, he'll do a drawing. It's known as the Avansky metric. Come with me. So, this is the secret for a portion, at least, of Freefly's productivity. It's called bulletproof coffee. You take butter, MCT oil, which is like a particular portion of coconut oil, and you make a coffee out of it. So I'm going to show you how we do it. So I think we just rolled over, what was it, 10,000 shots out of this grinder? 20,000 shots. We just hit the 20,000 shot mark. So I would say this is the heart. This little area right here, this is the heart of Freefly, the espresso area. So to tamp this guy, we say about 30 pounds of tamp force. Clean that up. And you'll see, I'll rock about 2 tablespoons of butter. It's about that much. Kerrygold grass-filled butter is the best. Don't use the salty kind. It tastes pretty bad. Pop that in there. And in the morning time, I'll probably have 2 of these in the morning. It's kind of like jet fuel for my day. Pull 2 shots. And then as that's going, I'll prep the MCT oil. And so this comes from, I learned about this quite a long time ago from Dave Asprey. I can't remember if it was a blog or a podcast or something. I listened to tons of podcasts and just came across it. And then I did it for a while, a long time ago, and then for some reason I kind of stopped, and then I started it again, I don't know, probably 2 years ago, and I just really makes my day awesome. Hugh's gotten on board, kind of lots of people here are on board. So 2 shots, add hot water. So at this point, it's kind of like an Americano with a big chunk of butter floating around in there. We got MCT oil in the hand blender. I'll dump this guy in. I'm going to give half this to Hugh, too, because I can't drink it all. Clean that up.
Question for you, Tab.
Yep.
What's in the white bottle again?
This is called Brain Octane. So this is called MCT oil. And this particular brand, or kind of type of MCT oil, raises ketone levels. So ketones are good for your brain. This cocktail in general, the reason I like it is it gives me kind of like a cognitive boost in the morning, and also I don't feel super hungry for a long time, so I can just kind of dig in and focus on work. And then I'll hit it for 10 seconds or so on the hand blender. And you end up with kind of a frothy, delicious latte without any really refined dairy or anything in it. It's delicious. Kind of has like a nice texture, almost like a latte would. And yeah, just tons of energy. Like, I've been doing this for a real long time, and lots of people along the way thought it was crazy, but it really does work for my specific physiology and a lot of other people here. So just a cool tip. Give it a try. I think it's a delicious treat to give you tons of healthy fats and give your brain a little boost of energy in the morning. One other pro tip. Buy the Dyson handheld vacuum. It's the coolest thing ever created. It keeps everything clean and makes me so happy. So with that, I'm gonna leave that guy here. You want half this, Hugh?
Sure.
You can't have half. It's camera operator. I made a mess.
Can you hear me?
Hmm? All right. Bulletproof coffees. Let's go build Movi XL. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Actually, we're going to show some cool Instagram first. You put your coffee there. Okay, so first up, from Mland Pictures, we've got a guy who is snowboarding while Movi Pro operating while kite surfing. I don't even know how all those things can be done at the same time. Now, yeah, you do have to try it, Cameron. You like it. You're a busy guy. You could use more energy. You could use more cognitive ability. You'll love it. So this is great. Oh, yeah, hit it, Brent. Next one. That's great. Next up, Steven Sherba. Awesome setup. It looks like an Alexa Mini. This beautiful little Airy / C-Force motors. Probably got a WCU4 floating around somewhere. Beautiful setup. Just lovely. It's crazy that you can pack all that on a Movi Pro. It's crazy when you think back to, like, you know, when we first designed M10, we never thought people were going to be putting camera packages quite this big on things. This is a Taro. This is Cloakroom Media. We got a Taro chasing a Formula One car, which is just hilarious. The juxtaposition of this tiny little toy with that beast. Not toy, fun toy. Just a beautiful image from in-frame films. We like that one. And then Philip Bloom with the Movi Pro. It says, "It's the best handheld gimbal I have ever tried. Want, here with the red Scarlet W on it." So you can 50% believe what he says, and then 50% he just wants me to send him a Movi Pro. But the Movi Pro is good. Philip's also good. He's very good at getting what he wants. So good job, Philip. I think at this point we're going to take, we've got a Movi XL in the case, and we're going to put it on the Razor. I want to show how relatively simple and straightforward and easy that is, especially for a big gimbal. So this is the Movi XL ground case. It's got a bunch of cutouts in the lid for rods, various rod lengths if you want, and then these two inserts come out. There's a lot of room in here for things to go. We've tried to use any available space for pockets, for, you know, anything that you might need.
Movi controller.
Got an accessory plate here, Movi controller. There's casters for this case if you want them. They tuck away in here. I'm gonna move this stuff a little bit. Any questions, Brent?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
People excited to see the setup.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. One funny thing, if you check my Instagram or Freefly's Instagram, I was hanging from Movi XL earlier today. Engineering team was doing some weight testing back on the robot, and I snuck in there and then found out they were testing 225 pounds, and I'm about 235, so I jumped on and hung from it, and everything was fine, but it's a funny shot. So you can see how Movi XL slots in here. You want to try and get in here, Hugh, so you can see there's slots for base plates and lens supports and mimic and all kinds of stuff can go in here. But to get it out, you just lift up. It's a tight fit. We want it to be super, super, super constrained so it stays safe in shipping. But you can see this comes out like that. I don't have the access lock on this guy engaged, which I would like to have right now.
What's the price point on the XL?
We haven't set final pricing, but it will be under $22,000. And then you can see this is our quick release system. It's kind of like a dovetail type design. And then we've got one mounted to the black arm as well. So once you get this guy, which I'm gonna engage the pan lock as well. Just to make aligning this a little bit easier. Okay, so you can see once I have that guy, I just take into that dovetail. And that slides right in, you hear it click, and then you're going to activate this clamping mechanism. That takes a piece of aluminum and shoves the whole thing in and make sure that that's really clamped hard. Remove some of these sandbags. So now we've got one more. We've got an empty gimbal, empty Movi XL on the arm. It's secured in the quick release. We don't have any batteries installed, and all the access locks are still engaged. So I'm going to get this thing prepped to install a camera. You want to?
I'm gonna go around.
Yeah. Here.
How weather resistant is the XL?
Medium, I would say. I would say the XL is weather resistant on the same level as a camera would be, depending on the camera. Like like an Epic or an Arri. Some of the Canon cameras are insanely waterproof. XL is not waterproof to the level of some of those cameras, but I would say it's going to be along the lines of an Arri or a Red camera. Okay, so first things I want to do is the tilt cage has been shoved all the way back to make it fold up nicely in the case. So I want to get that reasonably close to where I know it's going to balance. Then I'm going to clamp it. I'm going to remove the axis lock, put that level, and then re-engage the axis lock. So you can see right now, even though it's out of balance, roll axis is being held level, the tilt cage is being held by the axis lock, and then the pan is actually being held by the axis lock too. I'm going to rotate this around. Just so there's a better angle for shooting. Base plate is compatible as an Arri style base plate, so we can easily go from sticks to gimbal to anything that you're using this style setup on. And if your camera's all set up with Arri stuff, it'll slide right on here. For the camera, actually let's do the batteries.
Question tab.
Yep, hit me.
When do you expect to start shipping the XL?
May. We're shipping in May. Ooh, that's good. So batteries are held in via 2 Velcro straps into this plate. These are hard case Gens Ace LiPos. They've got a state of charge indicator on the end of the battery. So you slot those in here, cinch those right down. There's 2 battery straps for redundancy. What? Question?
GH5 good?
GH5 will work great on this. Let me get this battery in. Yeah.
How long was the process to make the XL?
Well,
It's kind of a big question.
Dave Bloomfield did a lot of the early XL work, and he's, I think he's 35. He's probably been thinking about it for about 34 years. And then you add in the rest of the engineering team that jumped on board to get it across the finish line. There's probably 180 man years involved in making this gimbal. No, I don't know. I would say that the development timeline on this thing's probably around a year of actual full-time development work, something around there. Our normal product cycle here is, depending on the complexity of the product, between 6 months and a year.
I have 2 questions.
Yep.
Where did you get your glasses, and how heavy is Movi XL?
Glasses are from Warby Parker, and I put that battery in bad. XL is about 25 pounds, depending on which person in this warehouse you ask.
Are those XT60 or XT30 battery connectors?
These are XT90, I think. XT90, yes. So they're the ones that have anti-spark. So they don't spark when you plug them in, which is a nice feature. Okay, so batteries installed. Let's talk about camera package real quick, and I'll talk you through what we got here. We've got a mini. We've got a red 18 to 85. And we've got 3 Hadeen focus motors all wired up. I'm not going to strip all that stuff down. I can show you how it works. There's just 19mm rod mounts that go here, and then there's a 19mm lens support, and all this stuff is adjustable. So we tried to make it work on as many different lens and camera applications as possible. Some of these accessories you can see, I've got SDI cable prepped, ARRI power to DTAP cable. This is a power for the Paralinks. And then we've got some new pop and locks that'll be coming with Movi XL too. Not coming with, but available at the same time as Movi XL. So we've got a 50mm pop and lock. For instance, if you wanted to be able to mount something to Movi XL, to any of the 50mm tubes, you can mount that guy. Slots right on and off.
You have another question about the arm used
Sure.
on the razor?
Yep.
Movi XL?
Yeah. What's the question?
What is it?
Oh, this is a black arm from Flow Cine. And then, I always forget the name of this thing. What's the name of this thing? Tranquilizer, yeah. This is a tranquilizer. So this is their newest vibration isolation platform. It uses kind of like some type of rubber silicone O-ring type damper, and then there's some reaction mass for pan, so you can get pan tuning a little bit higher. It's been working great so far. The Razor really beats the crap out of this setup, and we've been getting good footage off of it, which is just shocking when you see how much the thing is flailing around, and the footage still looks good. So back to the Flow, the new pop and locks. We've got this guy. This is kind of a fun one. So all over Movi XL, there's mount points. There's 1/4-20 mount points and 3mm mount points. And then Ian knocked out these pop and locks that you can actually just hard mount if you want to 1/4-20 points or 3mm points. So these guys can just stay on the gimbal if you like, if you have a certain accessory that you always like to run here, and just pop and locks on and off there. You know, just to, I don't run the wireless here, but just to show what I'm talking about. If you wanted to, I can't see. Yeah, there we go. Like you could lock that guy right on there if you wanted to. So pop him off. He goes in a different spot. And then we've also got a 19mm pop and lock. So if you've got accessories that you want to mount on the 19mm rod mounts, pop them on there. So we've got just about every place that you could want to mount a pop and lock covered. Okay, so at this point, typically what I do is install the camera. I know it's going to be out of balance because I haven't balanced anything yet, but the nice thing about the axis locks is it'll just stay. So I'll tip this up so you can see. Standard mount plate that you're all familiar with. Lever here locks the tilt adjustment. 2 little levers for the tightening the 19mm rod mounts. And you just kind of get it, push down the safety stop, and then get it started sliding back. And then just slide it right on back. You could hear that the click there, that was the safety stop. So even if I were to do something dumb and try and have it slide forward, it wouldn't go anywhere. Brett, you want to pull that sandbag off there for me? So I kind of think I'm relatively close on this, on tilt fore aft. So I'm just going to clamp that down. I'm not sure if it's right or not. And now I've got to install the top rail. So top rail, same type of technique as Movi Pro. It's got a 2-stage thing where you can install it after rather than having to slide it in. So you turn it sideways. Uh-oh. We got an issue.
Question.
Yeah.
What's the longest focal length that we're shooting for that we've successfully stabilized?
On Movi XL?
On XL, yeah.
I would say me personally, probably about 100mm, somewhere around there, 120mm maybe. We have these little prototype stops that I didn't realize were on here. Just put them there so we have some adjustment. Okay, so now this will slide down. So that just slides into place. Oh geez. Just gonna pull these off. Add those things. Okay, so top rail now can finally slide down. It actually slots down into the camera rail, and then you turn this sideways to engage it. I lock these down, lock this down, and then you actually clamp it into that rail with the big toggle. So now we're fully clamped on tilt. I can remove the tilt lock, and I can see how my balance feels. So I'm forward heavy, and I'm out of vertical CG for sure. So I'm gonna loosen this up, and I'm gonna get tilt fore aft roughly correct. Okay, so I'm getting close there. I'm gonna lock that down. And now let's go tilt vertical. So I'm way bottom heavy. So we loosen up these guys. There's 4 of these clamps that allow tilt vertical CG adjustment. I'm just gonna slide it up. Okay, so we're really close there. So now I'm gonna clamp it down. Now we've got tilt fore aft and tilt vertical. Pretty good. Need to come back on tilt just a little bit. Just a touch tilt nose heavy still. There we go. That's good enough for now. And then let's take a look on roll. So I'm going to remove that axis lock. We're a little bit heavy that way. We've still got to add. I'm not going to worry about that quite yet because we've still got to add the wireless. So I like to put the wireless over here. Let me unlock this and I'll swing it around for you. So I like to put the wireless right here so it's kind of in the cage and protected. I think it goes that way, yeah. So just come around there.
We got some people asking about footage from the Razor with this setup.
Yeah, what about it?
I think Evan should probably post something, or how's it look?
Oh, it looks good. Yeah, it's difficult to frame when you're in tight with things shooting with the Razor in this setup, but experienced people will create just stunning footage. We can definitely post some stuff. We had some scooter tests and stuff that happened that were just hilarious. So it's good coming from my background with drones and how much time of my life I've wasted on vibration. It's so nice to have this black arm and tranquilizer setup that actually really does work on vibration, because the Razor creates a ton of vibration, and you know, very rarely do you see it getting through to the footage, which is really, really nice. Super nice thing that I like. So I put I mounted the paralinks here. Really nice thing with the axis lock is you can have roll stay level even when you're out of balance, and just be able to manipulate the tilt, which is super handy when you're like sitting here and you want to then wire up the power and all these other things. So connect up. The Alexa power.
Can the XL be run inverted like the M15 or the M Pro? Or
Yeah,
the Pro?
for sure. It's designed for underslung or overslung, either way. And that was actually one of the difficult things in designing the quick release system that we did for this. Is you can make some really nice quick releases if you only want them to go underslung, but it gets much more difficult when you have to actually do overslung as well. So we definitely had to think about the best and kind of smallest package way to do that. So I just put the 12 volt auxiliary D-tap into there. This has the same outputs that Movi Pro has down here. So I need to wire in SDI. Okay, so we're all wired up there. I've got focus, iris, and zoom motors to plug in. And those just plug into the F, I, and Z ports on here. These are little Molex Molex microfit locking connectors, so nice little guys to use. Very lightweight. We went that way with connectors rather than Limos just because helps us hit our size requirements and then helps us hit our weight requirements. I think they're nicer connectors anyway.
Tab,
Yep.
will we be coming out with any longer cables special for the Movi XL and its length and stuff?
When or will?
Will we?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They'll be ready when we launch Movi XL.
What's the estimated runtime on XL and a camera? The battery power, how long does it run?
At least 3 hours. So I would say in our testing, kind of worst case scenario right now with lots of accessories, powering the camera and the gimbal, we're getting over 3 hours on a set of batteries. I kind of have a hunch that with realistic setups that aren't pushing it quite as hard as we've been pushing it during the engineering phase, that people will get even longer run times. These batteries are huge. Like, these are the same type of batteries that you'd fly an Alta with, so they're massive. I mean, they're 22.2 volt, 10 amp hour packs, and there's 2 of them, so there's 20 total amp hours on this gimbal. It's crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna unlock roll axis now. We're pretty close to balance, but we're a little bit off. We're a little bit heavy this way. So I'm gonna loosen the top clamp, and then there's 4 left to right clamps underneath here. Very similar to what you're used to working with on Movi Pro. We kind of wanted Movi XL to feel very familiar to people who are used to Pro. So it will be different than other big heads, but it will be very much in line with what you have come to learn and expect from a Movi Pro. So I'll clamp those guys back down. So at this point, we're balanced all around. So what I'll need to do now, plug in the batteries, turn on the Movi controller. So batteries are these XT90s, just plug in right here. One thing I want to stress is Movi XL is dangerous. These motors are huge and they create massive amounts of torque, and because of that it's dangerous. You need to think about it more like a robotic system, like a dangerous robotic system, rather than like a cute little gimbal. Just worry about people getting smashed fingers and stuff like that. Peter, why don't you come around here so so people can see the boot up sequence. So we're plugged in, everything's ready, we're balanced. We're gonna power on here, and you're gonna see it's not gonna go live immediately. We're gonna get kind of a start screen where it shows us our battery state, and then it gives us an option to go into details, see warnings, or activate motors. And we've chosen to make it a little bit different from Movi Pro because this is dangerous and we didn't want accidental startups and people getting smashed fingers and hurt. So you have to actively go in, and after you've started it, it's done its calibration. You have to hit activate motors. Another prompt comes up, says, are you sure this thing's a dangerous beast? You say yes, I'm a boss, I can handle it. Activate, and then it'll slowly ramp into position. So when that happens, it's slowly ramping the torque up on the motors, and it's slowly driving to its commanded position. So at this point, if the tuning was good, we would essentially be ready to shoot. If we had changed camera packages or any type of setup substantially, we would need to auto tune. So I can pop into here, and I'll just hit auto tune. Can you come this way a little bit? So I just initiated an auto tune. Or not, maybe?
start the motors yet?
Oh, Movi controller was in kill. That's why it wasn't auto tuning. I'll do it again.
Question tab.
Yep.
So that little safety feature, it also helps prevent any startup for, like if the motor locks were in,
Yeah.
it's like we need to check that before you start up the motors. And
Yeah,
everything.
if you were to start it up with the motor locks, it wouldn't do anything bad. It wouldn't work, but everything on the gimbal is temperature controlled. So even if you were to stall a motor or something, it would be fine in the long term. You would want to deactivate it and then remove the locks. So yeah, we'll do an auto tune now. So you can see here doing tilt and then roll. Then pan, and then after about 10 seconds it's done, we can check the gains. Gains all look reasonable, stiffnesses look reasonable. So at this point you'd be ready to shoot. And kind of the idea is whoever's running the Movi controller is really in charge of responsible for safety in the gimbal, because they have the ability to kill the gimbal, deactivate it. So we're really relying on the person in charge of Movi controller or Mimic to be responsible for the gimbal and not let people approach it that shouldn't approach it. We just want to be really clear about kind of the safety. We want to have a similar safety protocol to what we do with Alta, so that I definitely don't want people to get hurt with this thing. So that's Movi XL. So at this point you just fire up the razor, go take it off jumps, and see if you can break it and report back to the engineering team. That's just a normal day in my life right now.
Wanna do a quick shot?
Oh yeah, let's do a quick shot. It's perfect. Because I want a chance to drink this coffee before. You want me to hold that?
Right, hold.
Or are you gonna
We're good on shares. Keep them sharing.
keep sharing?
Keep sharing.
Is it working?
Yeah, we're gonna share.
Wow. Evan's in the booth.
We'll
Alright.
announce it at the end.
Oh, one other cool thing. Evan has started a Freefly podcast, which will be coming soon. So he's got an awesome interview with Trent Palmer that I listened to yesterday, and it was super awesome. And it took me back to yesteryear when Trent and I were flying giant, terrible helicopters, trying to get scenic shots with a bunch of gear that didn't work. You want me to do this? I'm happy to. Okay. What coffee y'all drinking? That's bulletproof coffee, Mel.
Mike, you on? Okay, I'm on. I can hear you. All right.
So Hugh and Mike are calmed up right now.
All right.
Ben, that's true. We just lost wireless.
There's lost wireless. You've got it.
We lost wireless.
No wireless.
How is the Alta 20K? The Alta's not 20K. It's not easy to make. If you've noticed, lots of drone companies not making it presently. So there's a lot of people. No, it was a little lag, not working. We lost wireless on our shot, so we're doing a little live troubleshooting here. This
Backup.
what?
Backup.
Backup?
We are backup.
Oh. Broadcast is gone. Broadcast is back, I think. I hope. We'll be back up and running shortly. There we go. Want to give it another try?
Give it another rip.
This is an authentic look at the life of a modern camera op. You basically show up in the morning and you battle wireless for 12 hours and then you go home. Hugh, there's motion at your front door. Your phone just told me.
I'm so happy it did.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get in here.
Yes, right now I'm okay. Camera set. Action.
Yeah, we're back. This is Hugh, operating. That's Brent on the phone. He's like, hey, I'm gluten-free. Give me some gluten-free lunch. And I'm like, hey, Brent, I saw you eating a box of Triscuits for lunch. He's like, no, it wasn't me. That was Evan. He's like, man, I'm hot from all that gluten. Ooh. Better get on the scooter.
Good touch there, Brent.
We're breaking up on wireless. We're about to lose it again, I think. We're just gonna step back.
I might lose
Connection
you in a
is
second.
weak. Something is going on with the.
Can't see you right now, so.
Yeah. Gone again. Let's shut all this stuff off. They want to see the pictures on the wall. Yeah, you can see the pictures on the wall. These pictures? So that's a tarot. That's an old Sinistar pic. That's Justin with a Movi. That's from a shoot. This is from a shoot with Mindcastle and Henning. Some in-action stuff. That's Baby Hugh. There's Big Hugh. That's Colton, working in production, killing it. That's Kurt in motion state. I think on a ski job. Some movies being made. There's Ruben assembling. Oh, sorry, Ruben assembling some movies. There's Justin again. There's the production crew assembling movies. This is a wall of hilarity. So these photos are all just hilarious stuff from the years of Freefly. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. And then there's more down this row, but I think that's enough for now. We'll save those for later.
I think Evan's got something.
Okay. I think we're sorry the shot didn't work. So I think that's it. That's how you go from case to filming with a Movi XL safely. We tried to do a shot, but the wireless pooped out on us. Showed some good Instagram stuff. Evan, what do you have for contest? Let's go over to Evan's booth.
XL Live on the website.
Oh yeah. I got some housekeeping to do. XL reservations are live on the website if you're interested in one. Evan's got a live drawing for some swag. If you like what we do here and you like our mission, hit us up on Freefly Careers. Standalone, we've offered a new version of the Movi Pro. Not a new version, but a new bundle. If for people that have Handle or aren't interested in Mimic, like if you have a Movi controller already, there's a standalone version of just the Movi Pro or just the Mimic if you want a secondary Mimic. So those are on the website now, available. And just a thanks to everybody who reserved Movi XL. We were blown away by how many people were interested in it. So we're hustling our ass off to figure out how to build all these in May and June. And then Evan has a contest for us and a podcast coming soon.
Having more technical difficulties.
Oh, Wi-Fi?
The random name picker.
Okay, we'll announce the contest winners afterwards, and then Evan will ship you cool swag. Other than that, let's go see if we can harass Dave before the end of the show. What's this?
What?
I was just telling Facebook Live about how we're all on a health kick here.
We are. Oh,
And
that
then-
just.
And then I
just
come
put
in here and I see
you just have to
I
put-
see that you've had lunch at McDonald's.
just a few of these in just the right spot. Don't look at that. Don't look at these. We'll put some other things on it.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we're on a super big health kick. He's going hard on it. Brent is like fully gluten free, except for Triscuits. Fully gluten free. Everybody's hitting hard. Shane, what do you have?
For sure.
Can you show us your preferred snack? No.
Yeah.
This is where we keep the solder paste and a 5-pound bag of gummy bears.
Nothing's better than cold gummy bears. It's true. They're pretty good herbal.
All right, that's it. We got to get back to work. Bye-bye.